All right, what is up, my man? So I have delayed sending you this update simply because we have been running some tests on that hood of yours, and I didn't have any really good information to give you to point us in a good direction of a solid final result, because there were some things going on with the hood when we first met. I told you, hey, I'm sort of curious about what's going on here. I had some working theories, but we needed to do some work. I also needed to let it sit to see if my theory was correct, to see if, essentially what it was going to do. I have been able to run those tests, as you'll see on the hood here in a second, and I do have a result to give you, or a path forward, a one of two paths forward on what we can do to get this looking its best. However, before we do that, I want to show you the rest of the truck, because the rest of the truck is just about completed. And let's just say you won't recognize it. Before I show you the truck in real time, what I want to show you are the before and afters that Carly collected as she was doing the truck, to show you where it was to where it is. Yeah, that's what the truck looked like before. When you drove it here, that's what 100% of this truck looked like, which obviously you couldn't see how bad it was out there in the elements. Of course, our light towers here are designed to show you everything, but the point is, it looked okay out in the sun in that condition. But now in this condition, can you imagine how good that's gonna look outside? So that is what all of it looks like now, and it is looking amazing. That's not even including the fact of, once we put the ceramics on here, it's gonna look even better. But now to the sort of the crowning jewel, or the big monster in the room, which is this hood. I'm just gonna get you positioned over here real quick so I can get my light tower set up so we can properly see this hood and discuss what we found. Wipe the dust off. We've done several things to get the correction done the way we want. Like I said, we need to let it sit to see if my theory was correct. So this is how you knew your hood when you dropped it off. Now, on the surface, we've got it looking better. From that to this, obviously this is an improvement. However, what you'll notice, before, after one test, after another test. But here's the problem. You can still see this milkiness, and you can still see this milky, but more importantly, this rainbow here. Here's the issue. This clear coat is completely failed. It's about 3 seconds away from peeling like a sunburn and just falling off your car. What we're seeing here with like this rainbow effect you're seeing in this light is, not to get too long-winded about it or too nerding out about it, but it's the clear coat trying to revive itself from the oils and lubricants that are in the polishes and everything that get introduced into it during the polishing process. Now, when we were done with the polish, these areas were glass clear and looked amazing like the rest of the truck. Where the tests had to come into play were letting it sit to see if this milkiness came back, which is what we projected it would do. If it did come back, what that meant was it's always going to come back. because the clear coat has completely failed and it's off gassing, which is creating the haziness because of its molecular breakdown. That's the best way I know how to keep it sort of in simple terms. So if we were to, and some of the differences we did here, like this was just a straight up two-step correction that we discussed. And then over here, we did some sanding and then a two-step. So this area looks clearer than this, but it's still very milky, and it definitely still has a very prominent rainbow. As you can see, that rainbow is still there. So this is what we're left with. We can go ahead and sand all of this down and get it looking the 2% better it does here versus only a two-step, and then ceramic it. But at the end of the day, it may never get this bad again. It probably will with some time, simply because no matter what we put on it, as far as a polish or ceramic, the ceramic is toast, essentially. So you have really, if you want it to look as good as the rest of the truck does now, there's two options. Either spend several $1,000s and repaint this whole thing. The reason I say several thousand is because they can't paint just this. They're going to have to feather into the fenders, the bumper, all the way around this entire nose of this truck, which then means we will have to re-ceramic everything that we've already done. I think a better fix would be for us to go ahead, fix these rock chips that we have, you know, some of the really big ones. We don't have to go to the finite little bitty detail ones. Fix those well enough to where it's a nice flat surface, and then we install some gloss black film. I think that's the most straightforward, most cost-effective fix to get this looking its absolute best. The plus side is that's a cheaper option than repainting everything, and this will be 100% protected from further damage from the sun, because all of this is because of damage from the sun, oxidation, drying, and just failure because, well, much like our skin, it wasn't moisturized, so it got ashy. To do the cover-up fix, as far as fixing these rock chips, you know, there's about a handful of really big ones. Finish prepping it. We'll go ahead and get the rest of this off. We'll just polish it off so we can get a really good bond to it, because here is better because it's cleaner. This won't get as good of a bond. So we'll go ahead and polish the rest of this off, put the black film on. It will look amazing. That fix will be $1,000 added on to the current project. Or you can get it repainted, and I don't know how much that'll cost, but I mean, it'll cost several thousand. I estimate probably closer around $1,700 to maybe $2,700 to get this repainted. We're going to continue on because I believe we still have to polish the roof, then put the ceramics on everything tomorrow. But you let me know what you think about that hood. What direction do you want us to go? Because at the end of the day, this is your truck, and I'll do whatever it is you want us to do. Just know that if we continue down the path we have originally set, finish removing all of this white oxidation, ceramic it, it will come back. That's an unfortunate truth about just what's going on with that hood. So you let me know. That's what we'll do, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center.